Shalom Israel. First and foremost, let's give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Kadash. And also let's give all praises and thanks to the Akiums and the elders in the highways and byways out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity, and all the brothers and the camps that are making videos and pushing it out on social media, YouTube, the internet, and all way to edify the body. All praises to you all. Now let's get down to it. Welcome to another edition of Yasharallah's 20-minute breakdown, where I'll attempt to break down the scriptures in 20 minutes or under, not a second over. But today I'm going to do something a bit different today. Today I'm going to do the KJV, which I use, the King James Version with the Apocrypha, the 1611 edition, versus the NIV or NLT. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two and why I use this, which is the KJV, and I don't use the NLV or the NIV, which the NIV stands for New International Version, and the NLT stands for New Living Translation, and the Jehovah's Witness use the NWT, which stands for New World Translation. They use that book, which all three that I've just mentioned, they're one of the same. The KJV definitely stands out. And right, without further ado, I'm about to get started. In 3, 2, 1, we're live. Now, first and foremost, let's go straight in. Let's go to Matthew 18:11 of the KJV, King James Version, Matthew 18:11, and it reads, "For the Son of Man is come to save that which is lost." Now, if you go to the NIV or the NLT, you will find that verse is omitted, meaning it has been removed from the text. Yes, and also, let's try again another one just to show you it's consistent with the NIV and the NLT. Now, we go to Mark 15:28. So we go to the book of Mark, chapter 15, verse 28. And it reads, "And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, and he was numbered with the transgressors." Now you go to the NIV, you will find that verse is omitted. Once again, it's not there. And we'll even try another verse just to try our luck. We even go to the book of Acts, chapter 28, verse 29. So if we go to the book of Acts, chapter 28, verse 29, and it reads, "And when he had said these words, and the Jews departed, and had great reasoning among themselves." Now, you go to the NIV and the NLT, you'll find once again that verse is omitted, meaning it's not there, it's been removed. Okay, so let's try now. We'll go to Luke 4, verse 8 of the King James Version first and foremost. So this is what it reads, Salaki, the book of Luke, chapter 4, and verse, what did I say again? We was going to do verse 8. And it reads, "And Jesus answered and said unto him, Get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve." That's what it reads. Now, we go to the NIV. Now that verse is there, but listen what it says. This is the NIV version of Luke 4, chapter 8. Luke chapter 4, verse 8. And it reads, "Jesus answered, It is written, Worship the Lord your God and serve him only." That's it. Okay, we'll try another verse. Let's go to Colossians 3:22. King James Version, first and foremost, it reads, "Servants, Obey in all things your masters, according to the flesh, not with eye service and man pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fearing God. And then right from there, we're going to jump quickly straight across to Colossians chapter 4, verse 1. And it reads in the King James Version, and it reads, Masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal, knowing that ye also have a master in heaven. Now, when you read those two verses, you will see it's not talking about a slave and his master, because it just said, Masters, give what's just and equal. You know, a slave is being purchased with money to work for free, get lashed, get raped, or whatever the case may be. He's at your beck and call. You would not give him what's just and equal. He is your property. So we know that verse is not talking about a slave and his master. What it's talking about is a servant and his master. Like, let's give an example. Aaron, if Aaron's the high priest and he's got his sons below him, now he would be the master and his sons would be the servants. They would serve him in truth and righteousness, but he would also give what's right and just and equal unto them, because they are still brethren. Now, listen to what it says in the NIV of the same verse and chapter. So we go to Colossians chapter 3, verse 22. Now, I just read you it in the King James Version. Now listen to what it says in the NIV. It says, Slaves, obey your earthly masters in everything, and do it not only when their eye is on you, and to carry their favour, but with sincerity of heart and reverence for the Lord. Now you see, it's telling you, slave, obey, your earthly master. And in slavery, they would have read that to you in church, because they made you to go on church on Sunday, because you remember, as slaves, if your slave master was a Baptist, guess what? You was a Baptist. If your slave master was Jehovah's Witness, you were a Jehovah's Witness. If your slave master, any religion your slave master was, obviously you being a slave, you had to be of that religion. Now, let's jump across to same book, Colossians 4 and 1 in the NIV. And it reads, Masters, provide your slaves with what is right and fair, because you know that ye also have a master in heaven. Now, the slaves would never hear that verse. And you see where they've put the word slaves, because the original words there was not slaves, it was servants. Because if you were a slave and you was a slave master, you could not fulfill that prophecy, because there is no slave master that ever gave their slaves what's just and equal. Now, let me show you the problem also with the NIV, because now it's adding and subtracting. Now listen to this. This is the book of Deuteronomy. Let's go there. This is the book of Deuteronomy, and we're going to go to verses 4 and 2. And this is what it reads. This is Deuteronomy 4 and verse 2. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God which I command you. So there we go. And then let's back that up, because there's a reason why I'm going to back this up with another verse showing that it's been two places in the Bible. We're going to go to the last book of the Bible, which is the book of Revelations. And it reads, this is book of Revelations, chapter 22, verse is 18. And it says, For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of this prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. Verse 19. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. So you see, you cannot add or diminish from the word. I'm going to further show you something else, because like when you do read the NIV, those verses that I started off with Matthew 18:11, Mark 15:28, and also Acts 28:29, when you look at why it's been omitted, they have this kind of reason saying, oh, because it's somewhere else, or it's been referred to in another chapter. You know, they have some reason, which it doesn't hold water, but they have some reason. Now listen to this. I'm going to go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 6, and it reads, at the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, but at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. Showing you this is why the Bible repeats itself, because it says, which is a law, at the mouth of 1 witness things won't be established. But see, at the mouth of 2 witnesses or more, every word is established. And I'm going to prove that further. I'm going to go to 2 Corinthians 13:1, and it reads this. This is Paul talking, and it reads, this is the 3rd time I am coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established. So you see, Paul is quoting the law, which is in Deuteronomy, showing you that at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses everything shall be established. Okay, so let's be honest as well. I mean, even the King James version have its fault, not nowhere near as the NIV, because when I've checked the NIV has over 24 verses that has been omitted or changed. I mean, we can't go through all of them because time doesn't permit me. As you know, I've only got 20 minutes to break this down and to bring this news out. But let's look at the KJV. There is an inconsistency. There's one particular here also, which is the book of. Let's go to the book of Acts quickly, and I'll show you where the KJV has an error. The book of Acts, chapter 12. We'll go to chapter 12, verse 4, and it reads, and when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Now we know, you can search the whole Bible, and Easter is not in the Bible. But I have to say this, the NIV has got it right on this verse. Let me show you. I'll go to Acts chapter 12 verse 4, and this is what it says of the NIV. After arresting him, he put him in prison, handing him over to be guarded by 4 squads of 4 soldiers each. Herod intending to bring him out for public trial after the Passover. Now you see, now the NIV has got that right, but the KJV has got it incorrect. But one thing with the KJV, he has his disclaimer, because if you have this, the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, written by the biblical scholars, and also this book also, which is the two Babylons by Alexander Hislop. Now, let me tell you what they say in that book. Now, the 2 Babylons book, first of all, Alexander Hislop, it reads, excuse me, Salaki. Everyone knows that the name Easter used in our translation of Acts 12:4 refers not to any Christian festival, but to the Jewish Passover. And then it reads, this is one of the few places in our version where the translators show an undue bias. So they have made you know that it is incorrect. It should have been Passover. And now in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary it makes the same claim. It reads this: Easter, and in brackets it says Passover. And then it says rendered Easter in Acts 12 verse 4 in the KJV, but correctly translated Passover. So you see, they're even showing that it should have been Passover, but they've put Easter, but it was done for a purpose, because at that time these men were indoctrinated. So, they put Easter because if you're going to want people to have a festival and celebrate it, and you're going to be teach them out of a certain book, you now need that certain book to say what you want it to say. But if you search the whole book, Easter should not be in there whatsoever. You won't find Easter in the NIV, but you only find it one place in the KJV, and then they do admit it's a translation error. But there you go. And one last thing I'll just show you, which is in both books, the NIV and the KJV, is Mark 16 verse 9. Let's go there quickly as my time. Mark 16 verse 9. I just want to show you this quickly. Now, this is when the Messiah, as they ignorantly call Christ, has risen, and this is what it reads. It says, the book of Mark, chapter 16, verse 9, and it reads, Now when Jesus was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils. Now that's what it reads in the KJV. In the NIV, it reads this. Mark chapter 16, verse 9. It reads this. In the NIV now, when Jesus rose early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had driven 7 demons. Now it's telling you that Christ rose on the first day of the week, but we have to remember. Now I'm going to read you something quickly as well. I'm going to read you this first, and then I'm going to show you something that probably you didn't even realize yourself. Now I'm going to go to the same book of Mark, but I'm going to go earlier verse. I'm going to go to Mark chapter 2, verse 28. And it reads, Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. So then we know the Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath. But in the Mark 16 just told us he rose on the first day of the week. And it said it in the NIV and the KJV. But watch this now. I'm going to go to the original text. We know that it was translated from the Greek. So I'm going to go to a website called Bible Hub. Now I'm going to see if I can show you this. Mark 16, I don't know if you can see it very well. Mark 16 verse 9. Look where it says the first day of the week. Now there it says of the week. You can see it says Shabbatu, meaning Sabbath. So I don't know if you can see that clearly. So in the Greek, where it's translated from, it says the Sabbath, but the translators have put the first day of the week. But you can see in the original text where it was literally translated from, it's showing you, if you read on, you will see having risen now early, and then you see the first, and then it says Sabbath. You can check that Greek word, and even look, you've got the numbers, the Strong's number by the word Sabbath. Look it up for yourself. So you see, in the Greek, it's showing you that he rose on the Sabbath, not the first day of the week. And you see, when these churches and other places, they keep saying about Resurrection Sunday, to try push Sunday worship, and to say he rose on the Sunday, and they have Easter Sunday or whatever. No. you go back to the original text when it was written in Greek, it shows he rose on the Sabbath. Check it out. You'll see there are, you go back to the original language, you're going to see some things that you didn't bargain for. And with that, I will give all praises and thanks to the Most High. Kum Yasharallah, stay strong Yasharal, and keep the work up, faith, and keep the faith, and keep pushing this truth and tearing down every inconsistency so we can come back to the Most High in truth and in sincerity. And with that, Yasharal, Israel, we out.